Hey guys, Anthony here, and welcome to Gaming Interest, a new series I'm starting about gaming news that interests me. Simple enough. I like talking about video games and keeping up to date on the latest gaming news, so I figured why not take you guys on the ride with me. As a bonus, I'll be streaming on Twitch after this video goes live, so if you want to stop by and discuss any of these topics in more detail, come on over. Ghost Recon Frontline indefinitely delayed. So first we have an update on last week's Ghost Recon announcement, and I know this is a new series, but last week I put out kind of a test video for this series, so go back and watch that if you want my full thoughts. But Ghost Recon Frontline is, or was, a new battle royale game announced by Ubisoft. It received an extremely negative response after its announcement trailer, looking like a derivative clone of popular FPS battle royales. Gone was the slow tactical gameplay of Ghost Recon, instead replaced with this over-the-top Warzone action. After this negative response, Ubisoft surprisingly delayed the game's closed test indefinitely. Figures this news broke just a few hours before I finished my last video, but I thought Ubisoft wouldn't care about the negative response because they'd make back their money anyways. So I was surprised to hear not only were they delaying the game, but delaying it indefinitely, presumably to rework some of it based off the feedback that they got. But they had to know this would be the response to that announcement trailer, right? Another series turned into a free-to-play battle royale years after the trend was hot. I'm sure Frontline was just a corporate decision. After Hyperscape bombed, they didn't want to risk another failure. But Frontline's official Twitter posted, "The development team is dedicated to creating the best experience possible." And that's commendable, but what does that actually mean for the game? The ideal situation is they rework the game to be more like Ghost Recon, moving away from this crazy over-the-top action and letting the game breathe a little bit. But they could just as easily be going the other direction, rebranding the game into its own IP, something like Frontlines, Battle Royale. Ooh, catchy. I really hope they're reworking the game because I still think a true Ghost Recon Battle Royale could be fun. But that being said, I don't hate what they've shown of Frontlines. It's not Ghost Recon, but it could be a good, fun game in its own right. Ubisoft hasn't really said what their plans are going forward, and that's probably because they don't really know themselves.
This is fine.
We'll have to wait and see what they do, but would you rather the game be reworked into more of a Ghost Recon title or turned into its own original thing? Let me know. Nintendo's new expansion pack trailer. In other news of game companies being completely out of touch with their audience, we have Nintendo. This week, Nintendo released an overview trailer looking at the new Nintendo Online expansion pack, and it was kind of embarrassing. With the expansion pack, you have access to a selection of Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis games, as well as the new Happy Home Paradise DLC for Animal Crossing. Wow, and all this mediocre content can be yours for more than double what you currently pay for Nintendo Switch Online.
No, Gur, that's bad.
Nintendo Switch Online has always been a you get what you pay for kind of thing. The service isn't great, but it's cheap, so what do you expect? They threw in some NES and SNES games to make the service a bit more worth it, but I think it's fair to say most people have it to play games online. Nintendo, on the other hand, seems to think these easily emulated retro games are the big draw for the service, expecting people to pay more than double for a few extra games and some DLC. This kind of reminds me of PlayStation Plus on the PS3. You didn't have to pay for online, but it's similar. When it first started, you could play online for free, but if you signed up for PlayStation Plus, they would give you free games every month, making the service much more worth it. It was nothing compared to something like Game Pass that we have today, but if Nintendo wants people to sign up for this expansion pack, it needs to have a similar draw. And Nintendo, why isn't this spelled PAK like the original Nintendo 64 expansion pack? Is that just a little too outdated, kind of like your company's ideals? I could go on all day how ridiculous it is that Nintendo shuts down fan projects for no reason, destroying the hopes and dreams of its own passionate fan base. But look, in 2021, I can play N64 games on almost any device I own, and you want to sell them to me again? The Animal Crossing DLC alone is $24, so you're basically buying that and some emulators that you can mess around with a few times. I wouldn't be surprised if they're hoping people sign up for this expansion pack subscription because, it's only $5 extra, and then forget to cancel it, making a few bucks every year. Man, Nintendo is like that uncle at a family get-together that's usually pretty cool, but every once in a while they get kind of political and make things uncomfortable. I know this is a really negative take on Nintendo, but stunts like this expansion pack thing and the Joy-Con problems they just keep ignoring make it hard to root for them sometimes. But what do you guys think? Am I missing something that makes this pack worth it, or is it just Nintendo trying to squeeze an extra few dollars out of an extra few pockets? Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone trailer. Next, on a more positive note, we have Battlefield 2042.
Hey, can y'all boo me real quick?
After the Battlefield 2042 open beta, people have been very vocal about their disappointment in the game. I'll admit I had some rose-colored glasses on getting to play the game early, but I still enjoyed the beta and stand by what I said in my original video. So here are 5 things that have me excited for Battlefield 2042. Does it need some work? Sure, but so did a lot of other people's favorite Battlefield games. So this week DICE released a trailer for Hazard Zone, a new squad-based game mode in 2042. Hazard Zone sees you and your squad tasked with recovering hard drives from downed satellites all over the map. I've seen it described as a battle royale mixed with Escape on Tarkov, with your main goal being to extract the drives above all else. We won't really know how it feels till we get our hands on it, but I respect them for going in this direction. They were self-aware enough to know if they just made another battle royale, they would be laughed at.
Keep in mind, Frontline is still in early development.
Hazard Zone supports 24 players on last-gen consoles and 32 on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. I was honestly expecting it to have more players, but with the main game already having 120, maybe scaling back is a good thing for this kind of mode. Your squad will be made up of 4 different specialists, so picking the right squad might come into play with the game's strategy. Another element I found interesting is the AI soldiers that will be defending the satellites. They not only make it harder to recover the drives, but also give away your position when you engage with them. It honestly sounds like an interesting change of pace from your average Battlefield match, and I hope the game's gunplay is up to this more intimate style of play. Also, do you think they're just going to release a Battle Royale mode a few months after launch? I mean, Fortnite didn't launch with a Battle Royale, so who knows? What's new this week? Taking a quick break from news stories, I thought it'd be fun to look at what games released this week and check out what's new. First, we have Metroid Dread hitting with a bang this week, and being the first new 2D Metroid in 19 years will do that. Remakes don't count. I've seen some people complain about how hard it can be, but I've been enjoying that kind of challenge you don't usually see from Nintendo games. I do understand wanting more accessibility options for those who need them, but for everyone else, just, keep trying to get good. Far Cry 6 also released, with most people saying it's another Far Cry game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I continue to see praise for the game's main villain, played by Anton Costello, continuing the series' tradition of monologuing villains, but it seems like Far Cry has settled into a rhythm that I think most people will agree is pretty good, but going forward needs to change things up to continue to stay relevant. Back 4 Blood came out, carrying on the legacy of Left 4 Dead.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
All 3 Crysis games have been remastered and released in the Crysis Remastered Trilogy. I've only gotten to play a little bit of 2, but it's remarkable how well these games hold up with only a few upgrades to their lighting. And finally, Resident Evil 4 VR, a full conversion of Resident Evil 4 is coming to the Oculus Quest 2, further obliterating that little only for GameCube tag on the original game's cover. RE4 is a classic for a reason, and I can't wait to experience it in a whole new way. If you told me back in 2005 I would be able to stand inside one of my favorite games, I'd probably believe you, because I was filled with childlike wonder and joy, but I still can't wait to check it out. Call of Duty Warzone Anti-Cheat. The last thing I want to talk about today involves Warzone, hackers, and the shitty people we also have to inhabit this planet with. For a while now, Warzone has had the reputation of being completely overrun by hackers, with very little being done to stop them. With constant small updates to the map, character skins, and weapons, it feels like they've been ignoring the real problem that many say is ruining the game. Well, that all changed this week with the announcement of Warzone's new anti-cheat program, Ricochet, a state-of-the-art kernel-level anti-cheat solution that will—
And it's gone.
That's right, shortly after Ricochet was announced, it was reportedly leaked online with hackers already working to reverse engineer its code. I mean, it's almost comical how quickly the articles went from Call of Duty has a new anti-cheat to Call of Duty's new anti-cheat has been leaked. I don't even understand what goes through hackers' minds. Obviously, the people who make these exploits are making money, so I get why they do it, but what are these cheaters getting out of the game? Like, if an athlete is juicing up to get an edge on the competition, I understand why. I might not agree with it, but I know why they are doing it. But then you have performance-enhanced gamers that are getting absolutely nothing out of it. They don't find success or benefit in any way, and they don't even have the satisfaction of winning a match. The computer did the work, not you. Anyways, Activision later claimed that they planned for this Ricochet code to be leaked all along, claiming it was built in a way that hackers won't be able to break due to the program's kernel-based driver. Now, I'm no expert on anti-cheat solutions, but from what I've gathered, this kernel-based driver operates at a very low level on the computer that most programs don't have access to. You may remember hearing hearing about this type of anti-cheat in games like Valorant, where it's running constantly in the background monitoring your PC. With Ricochet, however, Activision stated that the program will only be running when the game is running to help protect players with privacy concerns. Now, did they really plan for it to leak, especially this quickly? Who knows, they might just be covering their ass, but I'm glad to see they're at least trying to do something. This seemed like a strategic announcement right after the Battlefield 2042 beta ending, with Warzone coming in and giving everyone hope that it might make a comeback. Warzone is far from dead, despite what assholes in the comments are gonna say, but it's good to see steps are being taken to try and fix its issues. Honestly, I think they had to with the response to Vanguard. Activision needs Warzone to carry them through another winter, so they better make sure it stays afloat. Ricochet will be added to Warzone later this year and integrated into Call of Duty Vanguard at a later date. Maybe they want to wait and see how bad Vanguard bombs. I mean, you don't have to worry about players cheating if there's no players.
Damn.
Seriously though, I hope this helps the game in a positive way. I've been playing my fair share of Warzone this year, and competition always leads to a better experience for us, the players.
Let's watch it again. Oh, let's watch it again. And bam!
So I think that's where I'm gonna end today's video. There were a few other news stories, like Best Buy charging $200 for the luxury of buying a PlayStation 5, and Steam's banning of cryptocurrencies and NFTs, but I've decided to focus this series on topics I'm personally interested in, and things I can actually comment on. Remember, I'll be live on Twitch after this video goes live, so come hang out and let me know what you thought about any of the topics we talked about today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I like to bounce around and do different things, and right now, I have the gaming news bug stuck up my ass, so I thought, let's see what happens. So I hope you guys like this format. Of course, it's the first one, so things need to be tweaked and changed, and please leave a comment below if you have any ideas or things you didn't like, or things you did like and you want more of. Let me know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one.